good? What's good? Welcome back to Unfiltered with
Mamacita.
NG. How y'all been? It's been a little bit. 2025 has been a little bit crazy for us. We've had some strikeouts and some home runs this year, but we're back. We're healthy. We're blessed, and we take every day as a new day. It's a reset. We wake up and it's Unfiltered Mamacita and G, but we reset every morning, and we're blessed as we wake up. So that's the blunt of it. Really quick and short and sweet in our last 4 months. How you been, Mama?
I've been good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Want to elaborate a little bit on what's been going on? Just a little, and then we'll kind of hit some topics, and then we'll go from there.
Getting over a cold.
Like, seriously, getting over a cold. Like, we finally had the birds and the bees talk today in action a little bit after a little while because, I've been taking care of her, trying to get her back to 100%. So
Yeah. Was in Seattle for 3 weeks. Garrett and the kids were there for a week and a half, 2 weeks, and just lack of sleep. And then traveling home a day or two later, I came up with a cold, and it's been rough.
I'm going to add to the lack of sleep. Eating habit, what we were eating up there, and the lack of exercise and vitamin D was the 4 major points for me up there as well, right? It did it. Being in Seattle and being from Seattle, but living away from Seattle the last 8 years, and then going back up there, you got to pick and choose the right times to go. In the summertime, to springtime is the best time to go. But yeah,
We didn't have a choice really on
the trip.
Yeah, this time. My dad had a stroke, so we quickly, within 4 hours, got an updated vaccine for one of our dogs so we could board the animals, and got them boarded and
Hopped on a plane.
bought tickets and packed, hopped on a plane.
And we were there roughly 8.5 hours later, or like 9.5 hours later. We was from here to Seattle, and
Got the call around 11 a.m. our time, and got there to Seattle, landed at around 10 o'clock West Coast time. It was a long day.
But Dad's doing good.
Yes.
Progress every day, major progress every day. So that's good. Blessed to have her brother and our sister-in-law up there, along with our beautiful mother. That's up there, and they're at the hospital every day with our beautiful nieces. So a lot of love and a lot of power to our father right now, because he's trying to make it down here.
He has goals.
Like 6 weeks. So we're talking like 10 weeks, 2.5 months after a catastrophic stroke where he shouldn't be here. But he's trying to make it down here for his first granddaughter's graduation. So that's that part. What else? I'm gonna. Go ahead.
We started couples therapy.
Like 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, 5 weeks.
Initiated at the end of 2024, but we had to wait until March to actually get started because she was.
Anyways, we've had 5 sessions, right? 2 individuals, right, each, and then we just had our first marriage couple counseling, and it was good. It really was. We haven't really talked about it which was kind of crazy. I thought we would have kind of elaborated a little bit, but on this trip we just took a little staycation down in Hollywood at the Hard Rock. Complimentary to Hard Rock. Thank you guys. We love it. On the drive down, but we didn't. You know, she's been battling the sickness and stuff, so we already had this planned. We didn't want to cancel, so I kind of just let her sleep and stuff. And there are some stuff I want to talk about, but it's been good. The you know, yesterday I was a little short fused, I guess would say. I don't know, and I even told her I apologized to her because I was just like, I don't, you know, I'm snapping on you because we're off balance, and I apologize. So, but you know, we talk about it, and like I said, we acknowledge our, you know, as much as we acknowledge our goods, we acknowledge our faults as well, and we talk about them, right? And that's what is so, I think, we'll get to, you know, where we first started 20 years ago to now, right? But yeah, it was good, you know. I cried. She asked why. What did I tell you? I can't remember what it was I cried about either.
I don't remember.
And then you cried, and I was like, oh yeah, well, big bad wolf over here.
I did.
So,
I wasn't giving him a hard time.
But yeah. What else? Kids are good, great.
Since our last podcast, you've stopped working again.
Again, and
completely.
Yes, completely. Still doing OnlyFans. Yes, those of you guys that don't know, I do OnlyFans. This is our 24th episode, so I think the first episode I put it out there. It's in there. So yes, I do OnlyFans, but as far as work, a 9-to-5 job, no. The last 7 weeks, I got fired from Toyota. Very unfortunate. I'll just leave it at that. Very unfortunate. I think I have reasonable cause to pursue some shit, but we're good with it. I've been 7 weeks cruising every day with her, with the exception of the time that, you know, we stepped away from each other when we left from Seattle to get the kids back here to school, and she stayed up there with her parents, and, you know, to take care of her dad and stay for support from our family. So yeah, I don't intend to go back to work. No, I'm kind of grooving. I like it.
Grooving.
I do. I do. I mean, we're on a. You know,
things are going better this time around.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's more structured. It's more of an understanding of what it is that we need to balance each other's day, even with the chaotic last 8 weeks or whatever it has been with, you know, Dad up and with the situation up in Seattle, right? So, wake up whenever, you know. Eventually, she'll come out and join into the her workout, and after that, we take the dogs for a routine walk, and then we're kind of just pick what chore to do throughout the house, or what book to read, or whatever we've rearranged.
What show?
Yeah, or what show. You know, the freedom and luxury of what 20 years of the service of the military service has brought to our small beautiful family is this. You know, we arranged, her and our daughter and son helped yesterday, her and Mihai primarily, but they rearranged this living room and the main living room, and, you know, we go from inside chores to outside chores. So today was a little hot and we wanted to do the podcast, so we'll get to one of the garden beds tomorrow. But yeah. We already flowered one garden pot, so
There's no flowers there.
Oh, there, yeah, just dirt. Therapy. What do you think?
I like it.
Yeah?
As much as the reasoning behind it, which is our lack of communication skills with each other.
Which is kind of crazy because we know that and we say that to each other and we continue to like communicate. Like, I don't want to say over communicate because I don't think there's such a thing, right? But yeah.
There is such a thing.
You think so?
I'm going to the bathroom.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, that's wipe.
Yeah.
Brushing my teeth.
Very true. Yes. Don't look at me when I wipe, please.
But yeah, we have a little problem with communication between the two of us, and we know that, but for some reason we can't get past it. I bottle stuff in, so...
And I'm more of a, let's handle it right now to the point. But she's gotten better. And what I mean by that is she's gotten better by
not waiting as long.
Correct. And then I've gotten better by
waiting a little while.
I'll just let her be then because it's pointless. It really is. And so.
I would love to be able to have a disagreement or argument, whatever, and be able to handle it and hash it out right then and there, but I have to process, and it takes me a little bit longer than 2 seconds, so...
A little bit. She's getting better. She's definitely getting better, right? And these are like extremely stupid arguments. Yesterday, she took some stuff out to the garage, and she put it on top of the box.
I was about to, yes.
And maybe, very true. Let me just be correct, right? She was about to, but before, right, while she was in the process, I had stopped her from doing that. And I said, this is, it's a fucking issue, right? Excuse the language, sorry, but y'all watch that with the podcast so everybody can watch. But I said, this is, I don't know what's going on today. I'm, we're off balance, and I apologize and stuff, but like, this is what it, let's put it fully away, right?
But I have an issue.
You have an issue?
I have an issue.
Oh, fuck, sorry. I apologize. I have an issue too. I'm working on it. I promise. Let's elaborate.
I make piles.
She does. She's not a pack rat because
I am not. I will
come
go
to our
through
house
stuff
and
I will.
We're organized.
I have a memory box bin.
Very small.
Tote. It's not small. It's a packing tote. Whatever.
For almost 40 years worth of life, it's small.
Anyway, there's stuff with some of our kids' stuff when they were babies and stuff like that, but every move we've made, I've gone through that and gotten rid of stuff, and I get rid of stuff. I can get rid of stuff, but I have piles of stuff. If we're cleaning an area, I'm gonna make piles, and then they get moved to a different room until I get to that room.
Yep.
And it's just piles. I probably have 2 or 3 piles of stuff in our closet. I have a pile underneath my nightstand.
Well, so it's an issue that we've been slowly working on for 20 years, right? And we pick up a little here, we pick up a little there, we throw away a little here and a little there, right? But that's ultimately and collaboratively together.
Yeah.
We're learning to continuously adapt to each other because we're continuously growing as individuals, right? At the same time, we have to continuously grow together. But in order to continuously grow together, I 100% and 200%, because there's 2 of us, right, equally think that, in order to grow together, that we have to accept each other accept each other's differences and understand that we're not fully going to grow on the same path, right? For instance, let's continue to talk about therapy and stuff. There was something that you had said to the therapist had said it, or eventually at one point you had said it to the therapist and she brought it up. But you said jealousy. There was something about jealousy. Yeah. And I was been on my mind for like 3 days. I'm just like, let's talk. Jealous about what and why?
So, one instance, this OnlyFans thing, we're learning to take advantage of his collaborations and our trips to do collaborations. So, tax write-offs, right? So, I get it. You're going to be looking at stuff and trying to set stuff up. But we were at the hospital. He was outside taking a breather from everybody, because the first few days we were there, everybody was there. We had the whole little waiting room was our family, and it was a lot coming from us being our own little family unit and it being quiet. It was a lot. So he was taking a breather. I went out to check on him, and he's on his phone looking at stuff, setting stuff up, chatting with people. But the second I walked up, you got out of it and closed your phone. So it's like
coincidental? Who knows?
It's happened more than once. It's
but
jealousy, but not jealousy.
So let's pause though. My phone's locked right now. Alright. Phone's locked. Go ahead, right?
Unlocked.
She has all my passwords. She's the one that creates, and we'll just. I don't know my own bank account number. Our bank account number. Our own bank account number. I don't know it. Do you get paychecks? We get paychecks. In my name, deposited into our account that I don't know. But go ahead. We'll continue. I just like. Because, again, we're open book, right? There is no secrets. Yes, has there been infidelity in a relationship? Yes. Are we getting over it? Yes. Jealousy? Come on. I get it, right? But, look at you. Fox,
like said,
cougar, whatever the fuck, MILF, whatever. Freak, that's 3. I'm sorry. I have to figure out something to do with the 3. I apologize. We're going to keep it under 6, though, and we got another half an hour to go with the podcast, so. But.
It's jealousy, but it's not jealousy. It's not me really jealous of you doing things with these people or having the conversations. I guess I'm jealous of your phone.
Of, a communication?
Of you being on your phone.
But, that's what I'm asking. Being on my phone, communicating with other people, or just being on my phone?
It would be communicating and, the planning, the steps that it takes to plan.
I would love for you to plan it so I don't have to talk to these
I don't want to talk to them. That's why I'm not doing it. That's why I'm not doing it. It's just, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not jealous, obviously, because we talked about that. If it was too much for me or whatever, you'd stop. If I said something, you'd stop. I'm fine with you doing it. If it's making us money, go for it. It's just me walking up. I don't know, almost like you're hiding something is how it makes me feel.
Okay.
When I walk up and you're I know he's on the app. I see it, the colored boxes and from the chat, but the second I walk up, and I get close, it's let me get out of that and then close the phone. And like he said, I have access to his phone. I can go in and look. I don't want to look because then I do get jealous.
And also at the same time, let's just say a little bit more on the subject as well, right? Who's the cameraman?
Me.
Sorry, I misphrased that. I apologize. The camera woman is who?
Me.
Okay.
As long as whoever you're doing it with is okay with me coming along, which for the most part it is.
Which for the most part they're going to have to be because, again, you're my partner in crime and that's
Yeah.
just how it is. I'm more comfortable with her there, right?
There's
It doesn't
times
matter
where
who
I don't
it
go,
is,
and
right?
you just set
Male,
up a
woman,
tripod.
transgender, right? Correct, right? But like the last time I think was because you was in Seattle,
Mm-hmm.
right? But while we were in Seattle,
I filmed.
so
Like I said,
I just want full circle, right? Transparency for the outside world looking in because I know there's again they're like, well, what the like again this is unfiltered, right?
New viewers.
I have access to her phone, right? We share everything, so
It's just
just an understanding. Like I'm not making fun or trying to poke either, right?
Yeah.
I brought it up because I've been mulling it for the last what to say
It was Wednesday.
Friday. So our therapy session was Wednesday morning. So I'm over here like 3 days later, like yo, it's time to talk. So.
no, yeah. It's I mean, like we've said or I've said on our earlier episodes, it's just like he's kind of like to the point with his conversations for the most part with people. Me, I like to build, or like I don't know. I feel more comfortable if I know the person sending stuff versus just a stranger. And so he would be like, just put it down. Just tell him to whatever. But then going into and reading his conversations, he's kind of doing the same stuff. But then just like randomly he starts calling everybody sweetheart. And I'm like, what the freak?
Except for her.
Except for me, which he has like
And
a
she is
couple
mad.
times, and I'm like, don't do that.
Mamacita.
Like, it's telling people they're beautiful and like all of this. It's just reading through the conversation. That's why I stopped looking. Like, you can do it. Just
But you know you're beautiful, right?
yes. But that's the jealousy thing
I got
that
you.
I had mentioned to her,
And
or in my thing that I filled out.
and what I could do is, I guess, not be so quick to get off of it and just be like, all right, well, here, and then just drop it and it still be on, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or whatever, right? And okay, I'll do it. Too easy. So I want you to feel comfortable. I don't want you to be like, obviously, I don't want you to be jealous because there's no reason to be jealous,
Yeah.
right? I told you I would love for you to start an OnlyFans. You're a bonehead because you don't. You 100% are bonehead because you
It's
don't.
the making content that I can't.
Bullshit.
Even if-
yes. And see,
even
I
if
stopped. I didn't say the S word.
Even if it wasn't a sexual one and it's whatever, like I just making content just doesn't sound appealing to me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's all these platforms out there. Again, doesn't have to be sexual. We just literally watched a documentary. What was the documentary called?
Bad influence.
Bad Influence on Netflix with
Piper Raquel.
yeah, and I mean, what was that last app that they said that we don't understand it. You can be 13 on it, but you have to
To
be
post, but you have to be 18 to
to
subscribe
subscribe.
to that content.
So I just don't understand how that's even legal or even acceptable to have a child on there, and then to have. I get it. Like, YouTube is accessible for everybody, but there are parental restrictions on there, and there should be as well on every app, especially if it's intermingled and it's in the web or cloud, right? So
yeah, if you're 13 and you're posting stuff, you're most likely posting it for people your own age,
yeah,
and yet people your own age can't subscribe to your content because they're not 18.
correct. So it's a little fishy, but again, the podcast is tailored to primarily 18 and above, right? There are some restrictions, but parents, be parents. Restrict your kids' shit, right? We did it, we have an 18-year-old and a 17 or 16, soon to be 17-year-old. And, well, 17-year-old still has restrictions on his. 18-year-old, well, she still has shit on hers, too. Guess what? She hasn't told us to take them off. So we're not going to, right? Until, but be parents, right? Parent your kids, right? My OF is obviously not for kids. I didn't say the full F word, but it's not for kids. Obviously, let's common sense, right? What else about therapy? She said, which is, we know that we don't need therapy forever, right? That therapy is just, in my opinion, something to balance us out. It was something that was recommended to us. Being married almost 20 years, and she has wanted to do it for 20 years, right? And I've shot her down for 20 years, or 19 years.
I don't need therapy. What do we need to talk to somebody
After
about?
being in personal therapy, for my PTSD and issues, and her being in her personal therapy with her mental health issues, it was recommended to us, and we decided to do it, even though, being married going on 20 years this June, it was a great idea.
It's just another perspective.
Yep. And she says, the therapist says we're rocking it, one of the best couples we've seen, some highest scores, right? Whatever the fuck that means. But personally, it was a reassurance thing, hearing it from somebody outside looking in, with us bringing our minute issues to them, and them being the person looking outside in, and giving us some tips and pointers to, see if it might resolve some of our situations and issues. Well, then I'm all for it. Again, we're human, and we are not the same people we were when we first met in 1996. We are not. I am not. I'll speak for myself. I am not the same person I was when we met in 1996. Mm-hmm. I am not the same person that you married in 2005. Oh. Is there similarities? Yes. Do I see similarities from, you 20 and almost 30 years ago? Yes. Right? But we have grown, we have adapted, right? We have just, in my opinion, we've become stronger by growing together, even though it might be on different paths and stuff, right?
Yeah.
And having different goals and desires, and she loves to freaking read. I hate to read. And our therapist I wanted to yell at her. I wanted to tell her, she just recommended us a book, and she's I go ahead, buy the book.
Get it.
You see. But that's just something that I'm willing to not even sacrifice. I'm just willing to give up a little bit of my freedom to make
better our relationship.
Well, and to make you happy. Well, that's just what a relationship is. Yeah. I'm going to bend a little, and you're going to do the same thing in situations where it favors me, right? But at the end of the day, again, we come together and we lay our heads down, and the next day we wake up together.
Yep.
So
It's just like we said, it's another perspective. She was reading back some of our answers to the questionnaire that she sent us, and I think that's what it was. I don't remember the exact thing, but that's what was going on when you got teary-eyed. She was reading something back about me, and she's like, it's weird hearing it from somebody else, things that we have gone through in the past. Because, and we've talked about it between the two of us, and I don't think I've ever gotten emotional about it, about that particular thing. But hearing her say it, I was just like, wow. And
maybe it was
it hit
because
different.
like it came out, and it came out from somebody else, but it came out publicly, and even though it's not necessarily
A secret.
right? But it's out there. I don't know.
I don't know. But I think this is going to be good. Hopefully we get some different tools to help us to communicate better.
And again, we might just be tripping and think that we're not communicating good, and we're doing exactly the complete opposite, right? But
I mean, the therapy can't hurt us.
nope. And the same thing with the tools. Utilize the tools and put them in our toolbox that that help us, and we'll keep it pushing. So
Yep.
no, it's good. What else?
We have a graduate.
Yeah.
Month and a half.
6 weeks. She's about to pull up this spring too, but so 20 years.
20 years.
That's
June.
in June, right? 20 years being married, and add, another 9 from there. I mean,
That we've known each other.
now we've known each other, right? 29 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're saying? Yeah. Ish.
Yeah, 29. It's crazy to think we've known each other most of our lives.
And again, right, we're, like I said, we're not the same people. We're completely the same people we are or were back then. Obviously, there's stuff that we're doing now that we didn't obviously do back then, but like, where do you see us in 20 years?
In 20 years, we will be 49, 59.
She's so
Right?
horrible. You will be 59, yes. I'll be 60.
I hope that we have grandkids, and we'll be
20 years, we better have damn fucking. I'm sorry, that's 4. We better have grandkids.
I mean,
What else?
you never know.
It's very true.
Grandkids, helping them and playing with them, spending time with them, traveling. Maybe we have this house, maybe we don't.
We'll see.
Maybe we have
Maybe we're here,
more
maybe
houses. 20 years, I see us in a different. This day, 20 years from now, I see us in a different country.
we're not. I like that. We'll see. See.
Having breakfast right now or dinner.
Depends
Who
on
knows where we're at.
Would you change anything right now?
Like personally or with us both?
Either and or both.
Well, I hope to not be holding stuff in and let my feelings be known sooner.
To a human?
To a human.
Nice. Not cry, baby.
No. I hope that you're not sitting at the table for the second day in a row and then get up to put something in the dishwasher and you're, are these clean or dirty? Because I've unloaded and loaded the dishwasher while you're sitting at the table and I'm making breakfast and he's on his phone and has no idea what I've just done except for bring him his breakfast that he asked for.
Delicious.
Yeah, I don't know. That's...
I dig it. I'm with it. I am. Any recommendations to other couples out there or even the single people that are looking for that one person to settle down? Yeah, leave it like that.
I don't know. We've been through a lot, so I don't know. Like, communicate. Don't hold your stuff in.
Be honest.
Be honest.
Is
If you're not, it's gonna eat at you until one day it comes out.
Is there true love? Do you believe in true love?
Yes. But I also think that there can be more than one person for somebody.
I agree.
Because like you said, we're not the same people we were 20 years ago, so yeah. You change, you want different things, you like different things. So somebody that you thought was the one 20 years ago might not be the one now. And someone that you didn't think was the one 20 years ago could be the one now. Or you just get lucky and you have the one and you grow together and they're still the one.
I love that.
Yeah, because, you know, something happens to one of us and you meet somebody else, you're like, you're the one for me. But you're the second because I obviously, my first one, we went as long as we could.
Yeah. I just, I won't say her name, but she's my brother's age, grew up in West Seattle, and she just celebrated, her and her husband just celebrated 10 years, but this is her second, and her first was like 10 or 15 years or so, right? And they were together for like 25 or whatever, so it's just like 15 or 20, whatever total, but to see that, right? And then to see her happiness, right? It's...
And was she happy before?
Honestly, I would say no.
At one point,
yes, but as they grew older, no. You could see there was the two paths.
They grew apart.
Were completely that, right? Where our two paths have been very similar, right? In the want, right? But that's understanding of, again, getting into a relationship and being very transparent and upfront. Like, let's be honest. We talked about marriage like from the get-go, right? And I'm talking about in like motherfucking middle school type get-go where it's so stupid. She wanted 4 kids and to just be a fucking, sorry, that's 5. She just wanted to be a housewife, and I'm just like, I'm kind of used to it because my mother worked part-time and stuff, but
And part-time to the point where she was working and home, like, around the time you guys were going to school.
Correct.
So it was pretty much like they had their mom all day.
Correct. And then my grandma on my mom's side eventually retired, but I think she worked. She worked a little bit, but then my dad's mom, she didn't work, so I was really accustomed to it coming because we spent a lot of time with them. So I was just like, all right, well, shoot, now you're 6. I said, shoot, let's make it work, and I'm cool with that. You keep the house clean, and there was understanding, right? Mutual understanding of the roles in the relationship, right? And that's, in my opinion, I know that's what has been a very successful story, and part of our story is that from the very beginning is that we were so open and transparent and understanding of our roles in the relationship, right? I'm okay with being the person that is responsible to make the money, right? Mm-hmm. You were always responsible, or I don't want to say always responsible, but you were the one. It was the understanding that you're the homemaker, plain and simple. That's how old-fashioned and tailored.
Take care of the kids, take care of the house.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave it at that because now she's just gonna act like she's having a coughing fit, and the kids just walked in, so the dogs are gonna go crazy. So, yeah. Anything you want to add?
I don't think so.
No.
If I talk too much, it might
Oh,
just
she's
start
crying.
coughing. I'm not gonna cry. I'm gonna start coughing. I got a tickle in my throat. But yeah, so are we just done for the
We
week?
got to go.
We got to go.
Alright, nothing but peace, love, happiness, alright?
Peace
Be
out.
easy.